Okay, Rapid Beta. Now you don't know what this thing is all about, but this is a podcast they started doing like 10 years ago, and I made like 3 episodes, and then we stopped until a few months ago, and we revived it. The idea of this is a question and answer thing where we just people will ask us questions about AMVs and other things, and we answer them. We answer every question. That is our policy. Um,
Every single question.
every question. Unless I deem them boring and stupid, and then I call the person an idiot, and then we skip their questions. That's how things go here at Thank You Heavy Machine Gun. That is the name of this podcast, by the way. You don't even know that. But everybody listening, here's our special guest, Rapid Beta. He's made some stuff for Ponies the Anthology 3 and 6. Um, and you've made at least one Simpsons Wave video.
Yeah, I guess that's what you can call it.
Yeah, it was The Simpsons, wasn't it?
Well, it was with BoJack Horseman, but same
Oh,
style.
it was a BoJack Wave video.
I need to see this actually.
Horse Wave.
Horsewave.
Um, and I guess that will begin. Thank You Heavy Machine Gun, episode 15. All right, so we don't actually have a lot of questions because most of the people that should be asking us questions are actually making AMVs. I don't know why you would do that. That sounds stupid.
Yep.
Editing, gross.
But here we are. We got Zephyr Star. We got
Hello.
Rapid Beta, our special guest. Got me, I'm FallChild42. And we got our first question. Our first question is actually very important as Rapid Beta is here. The first question is, what do you think about this edgy new gen AMVs full of VHS style and compression artifacts?
Perfect.
That's your answer. It's perfect.
I don't know. I guess like if it's done well, then it's done well. It's like any other style.
I am a fan of the, I hate to use this word, aesthetic. I do like the way those things work, but um, as the responder in this thread points out, a lot of people just throw on a filter and go, ah, I'm cool and clever, and they don't actually have any sort of thematic value. Now, as dumb as vaporwave music actually is, at least it's trying to evoke an emotion, sort of, and it has some sort of thematic elements that it keeps inside of its music, its tones, the way it slows down stuff, the way it chops and screws, classic like funk music
Mm.
and elevator music.
I feel sad when I see videos that misuse the VHS static stuff because I feel like a whole lot of the younger editors have no idea what that stuff actually is. They're just like, oh, it's a cool effect. Like they don't understand. Like, no, this is what tape used to look like back in the day. So there's actually a way that you could take, if you wanted to edit like a retro '80s, video using modern anime, you could do that. Or horses. Does anyone edit like retro vapor wave horse videos? I don't know. I haven't watched horse videos in a while.
I think there's a few people that do. I don't know.
Um, I really like that style. One of the that is a good point. JT, have you ever actually like rented a VHS? Like, have you watched anything on a VHS cassette tape?
Yeah, no, I've owned a bunch of VHS tapes.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly how young you are or where the age split is when people wouldn't have like ever seen a
Yeah.
VHS. They've never put it in a machine. They've never had to rewind it.
I used VHS tapes until like 2008.
Okay. There must be some sort of generation out there that's just like, what the hell is this? Never been to Blockbuster, never owned a Blockbuster membership.
Dude, I miss Blockbuster. It was great.
There was
They
a
had so many shitty horror movies there.
there was a company that tried to restart that here. It was called Family Video, and they were really awesome for the exact same reason. I saw a amazing horror movie about Chinese vampires, and one of the powers that Chinese vampires have is if they're a really high level vampire, they can cut their own head off, and their head and their organs can fly around town at night, but it has to drink the blood of somebody before daylight happens or else it dies. And it was about this like guy who was, studied, I guess, meditated, I don't know, and he like cut off his own head and his head would fly around and there was like a cop investigating all these weird murders. It was great. And I got this from Family Video. It was $2. Get it?
It's wait. I'm still trying to. So you obviously you can't. You're a vampire. You don't stay out until the morning.
Yeah.
So, but the head still has to feed, or else it would just die.
Yeah.
Like it's an all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose of
Okay.
that. I think it was like like an assassination technique. I don't really know. I actually read a whole Wikipedia article on it afterwards, um, because I couldn't. There's
I'm
like
just imagining.
this is
I'm
like
just imagining like a Chinese Junkrat, like when you spin up your Junkrat tire and you send it off to kill somebody, and like you're seeing through the tire and your body just stays behind, and someone like kills you while you blow up the tire, and then you're just like, oh, someone killed me, damn it.
and then you just got an empty body behind you. Yeah,
So Chinese vampire Junkrat
yeah,
for $2.
yeah. That's how it goes.
That sounds amazing. I actually have a Family Video by me.
There's still one, but a couple of them closed down around here. There's still one kind of closed, and I'm really sad the other one's closed down because I like going to Family Video and finding like the weirdest fucking movies. And
They sell like Netflix stuff now.
oh, that was another benefit because Canadian Netflix blows. We don't get like nearly as much cool
Where
stuff.
they like throttle the speeds and stuff.
No, they don't do that. It's just we don't get the same content.
Uh,
Like we don't get the same amount of movies and shows and things you have. It's really frustrating
okay.
because like somebody will go, "Hey, you should check out this thing. It's on Netflix," and then I'm like, "Oh, it's not on Canadian Netflix." And there's a constant war in between um, hackers that are trying to like, you know, oh, well, I'm gonna have a American IP and get American Netflix, and Netflix is like constantly trying to find ways to fight back against that because of some sort of weird licensing issue, meaning they don't get money, or I don't know. I have no idea how that works.
That sucks though.
Hmm.
Because like I don't know, I was never interested in Netflix when it first came out for that very reason, because there's just nothing on it. And then after a while, they were like, no, now we have all these retro shows and stuff. And it got irritating because for a while they would have a show and you'd start watching it, and then you'd come home one day and you're like, oh, I need to continue that show where I left off, and then they would have like dropped the licensing for it or something, and just they don't have it anymore.
The show's
and
gone. Yeah.
It would go away for a year, and then maybe it would come back, and yeah.
All right. Here's question number 2. This is from Machna21. They ask, I've always wondered what happens when you pop, lock, and drop it. What are you dropping exactly? Well, what are you popping and locking?
I don't know if it works in that order. I think you lock, pop, and someone else drops. Is that what we're talking about? Or don't drop it, because then it might go off and you might shoot yourself.
Are you talking about guns?
Honestly, I don't think so, but
What are you talking about?
guns. I don't think that's what he was talking about.
No, he's talking about dancing.
Oh, well, I'm completely out of my element. I don't.
Yeah, the African American style dancing.
Hmm.
You, JT, you were about to say something. What do you drop?
You drop it.
What is it?
It is it.
This is like
That's probably the best answer I can give.
this is like a Monty Python level conversation right now. All right, so I figure, um, you're popping your joints, you're locking your joints, so you must be dropping your joints, and you turn into the Blob from A Boy and His Blob. The
Okay.
the Blob from A Boy and His Blob was actually just a really good dancer who
You
liked.
just shed your entire skeleton so you can make some crazy moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, so here we are over in the. Oh, I forgot to do the. I forgot to do our sponsor. Shit. We always start with the sponsor.
It's like when did this happen? I don't.
Thank you, Heavy Machine Gun, episode 15. Officially sponsored by AMVCentral.net. AMV Central.
This is true.
AMVCentral.net. This is where we come up with a tagline. JT, come up with a tagline for AMVCentral.net. Start off by saying AMVCentral.net and then a good.
AMVCentral.net. If you don't go to it, you're lame.
Beautiful.
It's done.
Get it
Drawing
printed.
it right now.
Yep. Print it up. Posters. We'll tape them up on telephone poles in the poor neighborhoods. And we'll drive a lot of traffic to the site. Because there'll just be a bunch of like poor kids just they'll be waiting for their bus and they'll like see the poster on the wall and go, I don't want to be lame. I'm not lame. I'm gonna go to amvcentral.net. So, in the amvcentral.net official Discord general chat, we have a couple of questions people have asked us. And the first one comes from Dwayne Snow, as he's known now. Why male models?
Actually, the male topology is a little easier to model in 3D. Girls are a little more difficult. You need more edge loops sometimes when working with girls, so that's why.
What if it's an especially obese male?
You could probably get away with female topology. Actually, you would just have to pull a lot of verts around to conform the model. Actually, there's a thing called Make Human, so you can actually feed in those parameters and punch a button and get like a well topologized human model. But then you tweak it around and you match it up to what you need it for. So
Anime porn.
yeah. Actually, there's a weird thriving business of that apparently that I had no clue existed. But there's people on like Patreon who use Source Filmmaker and make like anime/video game porn and make apparently a hell of a lot of money doing it. So I've questioned my career choices more than once after I found out about that. But so far I haven't taken the dive.
That could have been me. But really, are you honestly surprised? Come on.
No.
There was like, I mean, it's got to be like the biggest crossover group with like furries. There's furry artists that make a pretty good living off of just going, oh, what is the newest furry thing? Zootopia? Sure, I'll draw like a fucking fox, fucking a rabbit. Bam, $100. Why not? I can only imagine it's some like old, like out of work animator too. He's just like, fuck it, I don't care about this. Why not? Fuck it, give me $50. I'll draw your weird, gross porn perverts.
Well, the funny thing is, I found out about the Source Filmmaker porn stuff around the time that I was unemployed last year, so it started to look enticing. I was like, huh,
you really
I can get a paycheck.
All right, next question from, I guess his name has been changed to Dr. Derpface. Why I no match any Powerball numbers? What are Powerball numbers?
That's the American lottery, and the answer to that is because it's mathematically impossible. you're better off actually if you save up your dollar, save up about 10 of them, and then go buy a share in a mutual fund that indexes the S&P 500, and you will make more money than you will ever make playing the Powerball.
Hey, that sounds good. I want to do that.
The S&P usually gains about 3% a year, so
It's not bad.
too bad.
Financial advice.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's all the questions we had. Everybody's gone. Everybody's doing.
Everyone's being productive, but us.
Yeah, we're doing the opposite of that. So I'm gonna ask this of our special guest. You seen any movies recently?
Actually, I really haven't. I kind of want to go see a movie soon. I want to see Get Out. It's like a horror psychological film, kind of. It's by one of the guys from Key and Peele.
Oh, okay. Huh. I'll have to check that out. I don't recognize it. I want to see The Great Wall.
It's just called Ghetto?
No, Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah, I'm writing it down actually because that sounds like it would be my kind of cinema. So
I want to see Great Wall. It looks incredibly stupid.
Is that the suddenly Tom Cruise is in ancient China kind of thing?
No, it's not Tom Cruise. It's Matt Damon.
Oh. Why was I thinking Tom Cruise? I guess the last Weeaboo that was probably.
No, that was Keanu Reeves.
Wait, was it?
Yeah, The Last Samurai was Keanu Reeves. No, wait, shit, no.
Yes, no, that was Tom
47
Cruise.
Roman.
Yes,
was Keanu Reeves,
and
that movie was nuts. That movie was nuts. He's like, oh, my Ronin needs swords, and then they like walk into this like cave, and there's all these meditating Buddhas there, and then turns out that the Buddhas are swords. They're like magic Buddha swords.
Somebody did a whole lot of coke and watched a whole lot of bad anime.
Oh, speaking of incredibly great movies that have Keanu Reeves in them, John Wick 1 and 2, everyone has to go see that.
Do you want to see the second one?
That's another one I want to go see.
Go see John Wick 2. Absolutely. Just Get Out might be good. John Wick 2 is fantastic. Go see that.
I will say on the topic of movies. So recently we've had a couple of movie nights or movie days at AMV Central, and we're getting back into it. So if anyone has a request for a movie, let me know, because I'm sort of the de facto person who's trying to set that up to no apparent schedule when people are not editing. But I was very pleased because I got to show 2 movies that are near and dear to my heart to a bunch of our younger folks, and I absolutely loved their responses to the film. It was exceptional. The first film was Hackers, which if you've never seen it, you should. It was made in the 90s. It has very bad depictions of hacking, but it's so cheesy and cornball that I just absolutely love it, and it's really silly, and you should go watch it.
And it's got a bunch of that like kind of like techno that was popular in the 90s too. Like it had like the Chemical Brothers or something. And that was the movie where somebody like pointed a gun at the hacker dude's head and was like, "You have 5 minutes to hack into the Pentagon."
No, that's Swordfish.
Oh, shit.
That's a really bad movie. You should not watch that movie. Hackers was really bad for the day because it was not accurate at all, and all the kids like myself who went and saw it, we were like, "Oh, this movie's such bullshit." But when you go back and look at it now, it captured something about that point in time that just it doesn't exist in any other movies or any other media, really. Like, I just see it as like a very specific window into that time where the internet was just being, coming on the scene and all of that. But yes, the soundtrack to Hackers is excellent. Like, it has some great music. Actually zipped a bunch of music up and gave it to people, and now I hope they make like, retro Hackers AMVs or something.
Yeah, it'll be dope.
Amazing.
All right. Yeah, actually, this podcast is doing nothing except advertising for AMV Central. Come to us, join our Discord chat, join our movie nights.
Yeah.
I suggest more super action. Super action movies are always good.
Yeah. We watched Kenzaza, by the way.
Sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. They actually enjoyed it really well too. George even showed up, and resident Russian, one of them, showed up and explained this crazy Russian movie to everybody. So
It's
now I've got like a whole bunch of kids that I'll see them at NDK and I'll go coo and they'll know what that means.
That's cool. All right. So the big topic on everybody's mind that I'm sure they're wondering, are those idiots? Thank you, Heavy Machine Gun, going to actually talk about this thing? Yes, we are. Probably briefly. So, for those of you who have fought through the trenches and hoary, blood-filled nights of the 2000s AMV scene, you'll know that Answer Man over at the Anime News Network really hates AMVs for some reason. Don't know why. Always had a big stick up his ass about them.
Yeah, it claims to have made them,
But
using the old VHS method.
Strangely enough, for some reason, in 2017, there's another article on AMVs on Anime News Network. And this one is called "Are Anime Music Videos a Dying Art?" I would actually, what is the opinion of our special guest who's kind of outside of the scene? Would you say AMVs are a dying art? What do you know about AMVs, or what do you even like? Have you encountered them? Where are they? What have you seen? Are they in your like general sphere? That kind of stuff.
I wouldn't say AMVs are dying out at all. They just evolve over time. It's like any art form, really.
Yeah. It's a pretty short, succinct, correct answer.
No, it's stupid to say that it's dying out, because it's like, there's always going to be people making them. Because there's always going to be people that find old AMVs and get inspired, you know?
I think, actually, that brings up the evolution brings up a huge thing too, because I think the era of saying that AMVs have to be anime music videos is kind of over. Like, AMVs were kind of their own thing, but they were pretty much the only type. I don't want to say like they were the only form of media that were turned into music videos, but it was a big time that the like anime music videos were kind of like the biggest thing that people would turn into music videos. But as it became easier and as YouTube formats like YouTube came along, I think it's incorrect to say that the people that are making music videos out of like Avatar and My Little Pony and TV shows and video games and all of that stuff is really all that separated from AMVs. Like, I don't know. Is there really that big of a difference between somebody making a music video out of Keijo and a music video out of Adventure Time or Stevie U?
Well, I find it interesting. It also is Keijo the thing where they fight by bumping their asses
Yeah,
together?
Keijo is the butt
Okay.
fighting anime. I just
Butt
picked that one out
fighting.
of Ranime because I saw that episode and it was phenomenal. It's everything anime
Yeah.
is meant to be.
Yeah. I can't bring myself to watch it just because I'd be, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'd be embarrassed. I would just be like, I don't even, there's not a, anyway, what I was going to say though is like, I think you're absolutely right. Cause I think that's become sort of the thing you do these days. Like it's a great way to start being creative and it's an easy kind of thing to tackle. It's like, I'm just going to make a music video. Like I don't have enough, I'm not talented enough yet to like draw my own comic or animate my own thing or whatever. And some people don't even want to, but it's like I can make a music video. Like that's pretty easy to do because my computer, my OS, whatever that happens to be, came with a basic video editing program or an image editor that I can use to, do slideshows and stuff like that. But it's to the point where I'll see videos on YouTube linked sometimes that have like AMV in the tag, but there's no anime in that at all. It's like someone made a I don't know, Alien Resurgence AMV, and it's like that sort of stands for like they don't even pay attention to what that stands for. It's just that the term AMV has in a couple of random cases, become ubiquitous for we know it's a music video.
That's true.
Like that's just what it's called. It's sort of like the Japanese MADs, I guess. Like what's the difference between a MAD and an AMV?
I've seen that exact thing on YouTube. I've seen it on like I made a My Little Pony AMV. I've made a Disney Zootopia AMV. Like they call everything AMVs. I think the pony people were the only like assholes that were like, I'm gonna code a pony music videos because we're cooler.
See, then those people are fighting with picture music video people.
The hell's a picture music video?
It's just still frames. Yeah, it's like slideshows.
All right, cool. I mean, I guess your computer comes with PowerPoint.
Yeah. Now you got to pay for that, I think.
Oh, well,
Uh,
Open Office slideshow.
I've seen somebody make a PMV out of something with Excel. That was the only program they used. It was really weird.
it's sort of
How?
I think they embedded some clips or something and like drew out everything else. It was. I'd have to find the video. I can't find it, but it was really good.
well, I've seen for a long number of years I did graphic design, and people used to send me like really odd, for their website or for their brochure they wanted or whatever. They would mock things up in the strangest ways. Like I used to have a gentleman who, for his website, he would lay out how he thought his website ought to look in Excel. And so he would send you an Excel file, and it's like, the hell is he sending me? And you'd open it up, and it would just have all these colored boxes all over the place. And like you would have, he would have like resized the cell really huge to be the body copy in the middle of the page. And he would send that in, and he would say, I want it exactly like that. Exactly. Colors and everything. So I'd have to like literally build a CSS style sheet and make it look just like an Excel document without the headers around it, but it was but he's like, don't this box needs to be 1.2 inches on my screen, so it was like, well, I've got to make it as close as possible to, because knowing this guy, because he was about 80 years old, he would put a ruler up to the screen and would say like, no, don't, you have to change it, it's not 1 inches wide. And I had to try to explain to him that it's going to scale on different screens, and he wouldn't have it. He's like, well, it's got to be 1.5 on my screen. So there you go. Maybe he's an 80-year-old man who needed to make like a Pinkie Pie video.
Yeah. It's the only program I know. I've been in business for 46 years, and I really like Pinkie Pie. All right,
Businessman turned brony.
All right, yeah, I think the only other thing that I wanted to touch on in this is there's two things. One, he makes a joke at the end that goes, have you seen a recent AMV that really impressed you? Let us know in the comments, and anything involving Linkin Park will immediately be disqualified. This guy still thinks that Linkin Park is like the oversaturated music in the land of music videos. And my question to both of you is, Linkin Park even alive?
I think they're trying like EDM now.
Do they still
I
have?
haven't heard them in years.
I know that rapper guy that was from Linkin Park like went and did a solo career for a while. I don't know what the other 4 people did. How many people were in Linkin Park? There's the turntable guy, the guy that screamed, the guy that sang, a drummer,
Yeah, like 4,
maybe another
3 or
dude.
4. I think 3 main guys, and maybe they had a guy who's switched in and out or something. I don't know. But I don't know. It's like we were talking earlier before the recording, and it's kind of like, not only when was the last time you heard Linkin Park, but I'm almost getting like nostalgic for them. It's like, because I think we talked about it on another episode. It's like I need to go get the album from the one that has all those songs on it, just so I can be like, I remember when people made AMVs to this. But there's not really. I would have no clue what the current oversaturated stuff is. What the current, like, oh god, another one of this video.
It's
with
memes.
This song.
Linkin Park's latest song has 81,000 dislikes and 200,000 likes.
Nice. They're still on top. Good for them. Speaking of on top, apparently some artist in Hollywood did a life-size gold statue of Kanye West as Jesus Christ, and he put him on He put him on a little pedestal, and it just said "false idols" on the bottom. I can only imagine Kanye West is like, "That statue's wrong. It ain't big enough."
Put more diamond on it.
Damn right, I'm Jesus. Oh, Kanye. His last album was so sad. Like, actually sad. Not not
Not in
like
a
it's
funny,
like
make fun of him kind of way.
yeah, it's like it's a him being sad and maybe not even realizing it. The other thing that I wanted to mention is he says that there's the reason that AMVs don't get a huge viral thing going on anymore is the lack of comedy uh, videos. Um, but I don't think that's necessarily true either. I think going viral is A, very random, and B, doesn't exist in the same way as it used to because of YouTube's
Mhm.
new like recommendation processes. Whereas it used to be that if you watched one thing, you could like that could get spread around and it would show up in the recommended videos of everybody. But now it's just you get Vimeo videos, you get clips from Stephen Colbert, and you get
Mhm.
like or not Vimeo, sorry, Vivo. You get Vivo videos, clips from Stephen Colbert. You get um you watch one thing, one thing on like Gamergate
Mhm.
and YouTube's like, "All right, you hate women. Here's everything about how much women suck."
Yeah, what does it do for me? Because I don't know. Like I'm not a huge YouTube person at all. Like I know people love it and will like watch the hell out of it and stuff all the time, but I just don't. I just go there every so often. I guess I watch like electronics and reverse engineering videos and stuff like that. But then
Mhm.
I get like I don't know a socialist agenda, and I get yeah, what else? Metal detecting.
I get yeah, it's bizarre. I think YouTube's system right now is actually preventing a lot of viral things from happening. Um, well, here's the last thing.
Okay.
This is the last thing. Have you seen a recent AMV that's really impressed you? This will be a round table. Has anybody? Has Everstar, have you
Well,
seen?
I've seen a few.
All right.
Celia's latest video was pretty good.
JT, what was your most recent AMV that impressed you?
Someone did one to a Joey Badass song that was really good. I don't know if it's like recent, but it's the recent one I saw.
Was it Reggie?
No, it wasn't Reggie actually. Surprisingly.
I think Reggie makes 98% of all rap videos. And I know Reggie doesn't like Joey Badass. And this is completely off topic, but that's how we work here. I always made fun of Joey Badass's name because it's really stupid until I heard Joey Badass say it. And I found out he's Jamaican. And when a Jamaican guy says Joey Badass, it sounds fucking cool. So that's the background history on me and Joey Badass. I'm glad he never heard me make fun of his name because he probably would have killed me. Especially because he's
I
Jamaican.
actually owe Reggie a rap video still, so maybe I have it in me this year.
Yeah.
I started it. I just need to finish it.
Run the jewels. That's my suggestion. Use Run the Jewels.
All right.
All of it. All 3 albums. It's a conceptual AMV. It's gonna run 130 minutes. Feature length.
Wait, has anyone done like the longest AMV ever or anything like that? Because then you could do that. I wonder what the longest AMV is.
I don't know.
That's actually legit. It's not like a bullshit. Not including
Oh.
like MEPs or compilations. Like the longest AMV a single person has done.
And not including these like 10 hours, of Miku saying
right.
Pion.
No pion.
But then you have to go, oh, what's an AMV? Why doesn't this one count? That's my impression of myself.
Accurate.
Yeah. All right, so have we gotten any more questions from either of our chat rooms?
I do not believe we have. I've also been photoshopping the cover of this thing, so let me have a look.
Well, Din asks, who is down for watching the horse tonight? Not me.
I need to. I've been meaning to catch up because honestly I'm a bad horse fan because I am a bad horse fan, but I haven't watched past the Crystal Palace episode or whatever. I mean, like I'm like several seasons behind, so I need to.
You're not missing much.
That's what I hear, except for like a Dragon Ball Z Twilight fight, and that sounds like the most amazing thing ever. So I really need to see that.
Yeah, that was like at the end of season 3,
And I actually need to make something for the anthology, so I have a few ideas.
and we're down to like season 8 is upcoming.
Good God, like what?
Yeah, they're never gonna end. Then they have a full-length movie coming to theaters.
Wow.
Twilight marries a stallion, but it turns out that he's a robot.
I would watch that movie. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeet, yeet, yeet. All right. Oh, we gotta. Oh shit! Somebody asked us a whole bunch of questions in a row.
Oh,
This
really?
is
Nice.
Crack the Sky. That is coming in under the wire. I was just about to end this podcast when you got in there at 20 minutes ago. All right,
I was
here we
paying
go.
attention to the wrong stuff. Sorry.
How do you spell AMV? I
Is that
don't
the
know. I'm
trick question?
dyslexic.
It's the same way you spell iCup.
All right. So AAHYEMMVEE is how I spell AMV.
Why do you spell it that way?
Phonetics.
Hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics worked for me.
JT, how many guitars in a flock?
What?
How many guitars in a flock? A flock of guitars.
I'm not understanding this question. I'm too stupid to understand.
Well, yeah, there's a flock of seagulls, right?
Yes.
Well, this is a flock of guitars. Have you ever been into a music store and there's 38 different people
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
Smoke on the Water?
I always play Led Zeppelin when I go into a music store.
Everyone always just plays random noise.
Bram. Yeah, but they're trying to play Smoke on the Water. Bram, bram.
But they're trying to play a Ween song.
Well, then they're doing it correctly. Okay, well, I'm going to say, let's see, 7. There are 7, at least. There has to be more than 7 guitars in a flock. And the reason I say this is because that's how many notes there are in a scale. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I bring this up because I think the lead singer of the Boredoms, when he did the Under the San Francisco Bay Bridge art installation 77 Boa drum, he had 77 drummers in a spiral all drumming at the same time, and he was in the center, and he had, I believe, 6 or 7 guitars bolted up to a rack set to different chords, which he would hit with a stick in order to make noises while the drummers were going on around him. So good.
Fantastic,
And that was a flock of guitars.
Wait, who is this?
This is Ai Yamaguchi. I don't remember what his last name is. I always forget. But it is of the Boredoms. Boredoms. Great band. Check them out. Crack the Sky. I expect a Boredoms AMV in 2 weeks. Why isn't my dinner ready?
You forgot to cook it.
What is the quickest way to cook food?
Put it in the microwave.
What would be a good scientific answer here? Ideally, food is cooked when you excite the water molecules in the food. So microwave.
Now, if you put the food inside of a vacuum and then the vacuum inside of a microwave, does it cook faster?
Let me think about that.
No, but if you put tinfoil on top,
Yeah, tinfoil could get a little quicker.
Now, if you use a propane torch,
It's dielectric heating, so you're gonna. Actually, I think it would cook it faster because you're not gonna have heat escaping off into the vacuum. Because you're not gonna have the heat escaping off into the vacuum because there's nothing to transmit the heat as efficiently as if it were in air.
okay,
So all that heat's gonna just bounce around inside your food and heat it a little bit faster. Because the microwaves obviously don't care if there are molecules in between.
I
They
need
traverse whatever space they.
I need
do.
somebody that has a vacuum chamber and a microwave and is a physicist to answer that question for me. We need an actual like video experiment of this happening. Vacuum, microwave.
Do we know anybody who's a physicist? I know like all the other scientists. I just don't think there's a physicist out there.
Do we know anybody with a vacuum?
No.
And I'm not even
don't.
talking a vacuum chamber. I'm talking about like a vacuum cleaner.
I've got one. Yes,
No, you
we
don't.
can use it.
Yeah,
I
you're
do.
lying. I've never
I
seen
totally do.
you. I've never seen you and a vacuum cleaner in the same room.
It's totally in my closet.
How do I know it's even yours?
Because it was given to me. That's all right. I'm adding a vacuum to the poster right now.
And Crack the Sky. Final question out of 5. 5 is the best number. What is the best AMV round table? We'll start with Zephyr Star. What's the best AMV?
Not Linkin Park AMVs.
Apparently, according to Answer Man. JT, what's the best AMV?
that's so hard. There's so many good ones, but I'd have to say the Bohemian Rhapsody with Evangelion. That's probably my favorite.
Very good choice. My best AMV. Let's see. Do I go with the smartass comment? Try and pick out a real answer. Do I get to include Interstellar 5555?
Sure.
I actually don't even like that as much as other AMVs. I think there's other AMVs I like more. What's my AMV that I like the most? What is the AMV I always go back to and see again and again and again? Oh man, I know. It's gonna be a little retrospect from Kitsune. That's probably my favorite.
That is a good one.
It's all nostalgia driven, but I don't care. And that's it.
But it's like AMV history in one video.
Well, thank you, Crack the Sky, for getting those 5 questions in under the radar. Maybe we can have you on here at some point in time, calling you out. Thank you to our special guest, JT, Rapid Beta. He makes PMVs. He makes horse wave videos. He makes those VHS effects that you apparently hate.
I'm glad to be hated.
Hey, they just can't stand how cool you are. Like your dope ass shoes that I know you have. I still don't know where you got those. I want them. And this is me, FallChild42, signing off. Thank you, Heavy Machine Gun number 15. Thank you for listening if you managed to listen this far. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yay.